Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to Step-by-Step Programming. Mike here, and today we're going to learn about paging scroll views. So kind of, just when you want to swipe to a next page, it's good for something like onboarding. When you open up an app and it's like, oh, do this, and then you swipe and do this, and it's, it's tabbed and easy to follow. So if you're using something like that, or you want to page the scroll views for any other reason, let's get started. And first, we're going to go over the steps here. Also, I want to show you what we're building at the end of this app, just to get a clear idea of what we're looking at here. So we have this view, and we swipe, and it goes blue, green, purple, red, orange. So if you're looking to do something like this, yeah, keep watching. Now, for step one, we're going to add the scroll view and page control to interface builder. Down here, that's the little tabs here you see is page control. We're going to connect the objects to the ViewController. We're going to add a View.swift and View.xib file. Those are going to be how we got this, how this view and this label show up. We don't want to do it directly in the scroll view because there's so many auto layout issues associated with it. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So I found it easier to do it this way. So we're going to customize our Xib and Swift file. We're going to add those pages to the main view controller. And in the main view controller is where we're going to set the colors and everything. So we're going to do it that way, and then we're going to format the pages so that the swipe gesture works properly. And it requires a little bit of programmatic UI auto layout stuff, so we'll work on that too. And of course, our first step, as always, is to create a new Xcode project. Here it is. I'm going to call it PageScrollView. Make sure it's in Swift language and everything. We're going to go into this stuff, projects, right there. Because I'm going to push it to my GitHub so you guys can download this later, and I want to have it in the final folder where it's going to be. Changes the Git stuff. All right, now what we're going to do is step one. We're going to go into our main storyboard. And open this up, and we're going to add a scroll view. Now what we're going to do with the scroll view is I'm going to set the, so you guys can see this. I'm going to have it go 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh, okay. 0. There we go. And yeah, let's get it to stick to the whole. To change the safe area down here to the super view. To 0. There we go. All right, so scroll view added. Next up is page control. And we don't want to drag it into here because then it will become part of the scroll view. We want to keep it outside of the scroll view. So let's drag it right here under the safe area. And what we can do for this is we can go to, is it editor? Yes, editor, range, send to front. I guess not. Sometimes it does this. I don't know why. We can send that to back. No, whatever. So let's take page control. We can send it to the front in code. Let's take page control, and I'm just gonna, let's center it first. We're gonna center it so you guys can see this. I'm gonna center it horizontally in the container, and that worked. And then next we're going to put it, what, 40? No, because that's to the super view or the safe view. We'll see. We'll see how close that is. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're good. So there it is. And so now let's link this stuff up to our ViewController. Make sure that this is already linked up. Yep. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to take scroll view and we're going to do control drag over here. And we're just going to call it scroll view. And we're going to add page control. Again, selecting it over here, dragging it over, and we'll call it page control. There we go. All right, so next up, what we're going to do is we're going to set the scroll view's delegate to the ViewController. So this can be done two ways. You can do it in the view.did_load, scrollView.delegate equals self, or you can just take this puppy in the outlet inspector up here and just drag it on over to the yellow dot. And there it is. And you know what, because I want that page control up front, so before I forget about it, I'm just going to go view.bring subview to front, and we're going to bring page control to the front, just because. We're going to get into more programmatic UI later, but this is just, just so I don't forget it. Now, our next step here is to add new zip file and a new View Swift file. So we're going to go new file, Cocoa Touch class, view, call it view, whatever. And we're going to create. See, down here, the view is what you want in the user interface. View.xib. You're right. How'd you know? And there it is. So now what we need to do is we need to link these up. So to do that, we go here and we say view. And there we go. We're good. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to customize the zip file, because this is going to be what shows up here in the storyboard in the scroll view. So we're going to see if we click on it. There we go. All right, so we're going to just add a view, just a plain old view. That's better. Come on. All right, there we go. I'm going to put it horizontally in the container. And then I'm going to do, what, 100 from the top. And we're going to fix the width and the height so that it's like 200 by 200. Just throwing stuff out there. There we go. Auto layout, all good. Yes, perfect. So the next thing is to add a UI label. And where'd it go? Okay. Okay, yeah, it's clear. I gotta. Before we do that, I need to change this background color. All right. It's easy to lose things in here. So we're going to do horizontally in the container. Set it like 40 from this, and that's all we need to do for that. So I'm going to do control drag over here, call it our Xib view. Nah, that could be confusing. I'm just going to call it view, which could also be confusing. So whatever, just call it whatever you want. A color label. Alright, so those are linked up and good to go. Now this is the part where we start messing with some stuff. Now we're going to go into the view controller. It's getting serious, guys. We're going to create a variable called pages, and it's going to be an array of our view controller, not view controller, like the View Swift file. just making sure. And we're going to set that equal to, well, actually, we're going to use a getter. So if you're not familiar with getters, check out my video on getters. But basically, what it's doing here is saying, like, hey, whenever you call on the pages, set it up like this. And you have to use the return keyword. So we're going to set up our slides and then return them. So we're going to say let slide page 1, the page or slides. Again, none of that stuff matters. Whatever you're using it for. And we're going to set it equal to view. And that view is going to, this is where we load, let me X this out so you guys can see what's going on. Because this is where we load the zip file. So it's bundle.main.load.nib named. And this one was called view. And we're going to make the owner self options.nil. Now we're going to customize that slide or page, page1 dot view dot background color, and what was the first one we did? Blue. UIcolor blue, and we're going to page1 dot color label dot text equals blue. So that one is set up. Now we're going to, oh, important thing here. We have to dot first. And then we're going to cast it as the view. So there we go. Okay, that makes the error go away. And we'll come back to this in a second. This red error right here. But next, let's just go ahead and add some more colors. So we have 5 of them, and 2. We're going to say green, green. Page 2. So page 3, page 3, page 3. I'm trying to go through this as quick as possible. Yes. Oh my gosh, it's taking longer than if I just did it all. Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, let's change this to array. And while I'll do this, have you guys seen Avengers Endgame? We watched it a couple days ago. It was pretty crazy. Somebody had already ruined the ending for me on Twitter, so saw it coming. But nonetheless, I mean, what a great way to end that stuff. All right. And now, missing return and a function expected to return an array of views. So, as you see, if you're not familiar with getters, you have to return something. And we're going to return all these slides, the pages. Return page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5. So now that should go away. But now, if we run this, and trust me on this, if we run it, then it's not going to show anything. So what we need to do next is add them down here in our view control. Or should I say add the formatting. So we're going to func sub scroll view and all right, so we're going to set it up like that with the input for the pages. And this is where we start getting into the programmatic UI. So we're going to take our scroll view that we've added here as an outlet and set its frame, because we set the auto layout, but it has to have a specific frame being a scroll view to know where it can scroll around to. So we're going to take that and make it equal to CG rect. And we want the one with the X, the Y, width, and the height. So 0, X, 0, Y. We want to do right, so we've got that. And now I'm hoping that the view, the thing we call view, doesn't screw it up. I don't think it will. Scroll view, content size. And we're going to set that equal to the CG size. And it's going to be very similar with height. And for width, we're going to use view.frame.width. And we're going to do something interesting here. We're going to multiply it by the amount of pages we have. So we're going to take CG float, because it's expecting a float here. And we're going to return our pages dot count. And then for the height, we're going to do the same we did earlier, view.frame.height. So now that creates how it goes way over, and we create multiple pages. So perfect. And then we're going to enable paging. Alrighty then. So the next part is we're going to set up the frame for each slide. Now, we can use a for statement for this. We can say for I 0 dot to less than the count of pages. And then in here, we're going to say pages I dot frame, so that's highlighting each one. And we're going to say CG rect. Going to be similar to what we did earlier, except use all that. And here we're going to take the view.frame.width, and we're going to multiply that by, again, we have to translate it into a CG float, and then we have to put I here. So basically what this is doing is it's taking the view.frame.width, so the width of your screen, and it's multiplying that by the number of pages, so that each page has a specific width and height. And so for width and height, and for Y, we're just going to use what we did up there. So it's dividing off into sections, basically. That's what's going on. View, height. Wow, did I really leave out an N right there? All right, so now we're going to say scroll view dot add subview, and then we're going to add each individual subview. So it's going to be like pages I. So there we go, and we add them all individually. We set up the whole thing, and then we add each page as a page. And in order to call that, we're going to have to go into git load, and we're going to say we're going to say set up scroll view, and then for pages we're going to use pages. And yeah, let's build and run that one. I think we're good, guys. Let's see how it goes. All right, so this looks nice. This does look nice. We got it going. Where the page control is? Oh, actually, I bet we have to go into the main storyboard. Take the page control and let's change the. Yeah, see, it's the tint color. We want to just do light gray. Current page is black. Let's run that again. So as you can see here. We have 3 dots when we're supposed to have 5, and when we swipe, nothing happens. So let's get a little more in depth on setting up these little UI features that we have in the video I showed you in the beginning. Okay, so here back in the ViewController, we're going to mess with the page control a little bit and say page control dot number of pages. I'm going to set that equal to pages dot count. And then we're going to say page control dot current page equals 0. Just so you know, every time the view loads back up, it goes back to page 0. Now, what we're going to do down here is we're going to add the ScrollView delegate. And I like to do this as an extension. You could do it either way. So extension ViewController ScrollView delegate. And so you could either do it this way, or you could go up here and say comma ScrollView delegate. So either one, and then add your functions in here. So either one works. I like to do it this way just to kind of keep things separated and know where everything is. So there is a function here that we call did scroll. And in this did scroll, and in did scroll, we're going to create something called a page index, and that is going to be scrollview dot content offset dot x divided by view dot frame dot width. So what this is doing is it's taking the content offset of the scroll view, which basically just shows here. We'll look at it right there. Point at which the origin of the content view is offset from the origin of the scroll view. So it shows like if we're moved over 1 or 2, it's going to be like a multiple of that. Like if your screen's 200, then it'll be 400 at this spot. And so we'll take it and we'll divide it by the width of the entire scroll view to get what page we're on. And because it's like a weird decimal, we're just going to go ahead and round that off. We don't need the exact number, as long as it's close, you know. So we're going to take that and we're going to say page control dot current page equals page index. But they're looking for an integer here for current page, so it's got to be an int that we cast it as right here. So let's build and run this, see how it works. Yeah, there we go. That's more like it, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so now we're done here. We've gone through all the steps. I hope that your scroll view is looking nice. And so last message, you can take this and you can download it on GitHub. I'll put the link down there. And if you want to hear about me working on this for my project at my job at Impulse, check it out on Swift Life. It's a podcast and a YouTube video. So yeah, check those both out. I appreciate it. And yeah, hope your scroll view is looking nice, everybody. Have a good one.